Hey YouTube, today we're gonna be doing another video. Today we're gonna be doing an iceberg. We're gonna bring it out to the basics. It's been a while since I saw this. I just saw this recommended on my YouTube randomly, and I said, why not? You know, I do love sharks. I think they're hated on way too much, and most of them are pretty docile to us most of the time. You know, the fact is, you're way more likely to die to so many more other stuff than a shark. And if it attacked you, you probably were you are very unlucky, but you probably mistook you for, something else, to be realistic here, to be blatantly honest, because I mean, let's be honest, shark attacks are really rare. Besides the point though, besides that point, we're gonna be doing an iceberg, all shark cryptid icebergs. Now, of what I think should be brought up and would be interesting to see if they talk about, would be obviously the megalodon. What if it's alive? I don't believe it's alive at all. It would be funny. It'd have a huge footprint, on the world if it was, and we would know about it. Like, it's not even a joke. We would know about it, right? But what else do I want here? The Nessie conspiracy. Remember, I remember seeing photos of it where it was like a basking shark, right? That was, since the gills deteriorate, some kind of space shark. Chad, we're not gonna be covering space sharks here. There is no such thing. But the gills deteriorate first, and the top kind of stays. Because of, like, the bone structure and everything, and it kind of makes it look kind of like a plesiosaur. And I remember, I'm trying to remember the story. Is it a Japanese or Chinese fisherman? Fisherman picked them up, took pictures, and they threw it back in because it didn't want to fucking ruin their fish, and let a whole conspiracy about it, And what else is there? Because I used to be like watching a bunch of stuff about, like, because I watched stuff for like Gustav the crocodile, right, who was like terrorizing Africa. And because I watch a lot of, like, big animals that shouldn't be that big, that are top predators, I stumbled on a bunch of tales of sharks that were too big for their size and were hurting a lot of people, supposedly. So most of the time it turns out there was really no terrorizing. It was just, like, I don't know, a basking shark or a whale shark, and they just thought it was a big great white and stuff and misconfused it. I wonder if there's gonna be that kind of stuff, because I know, like, what was it? I know there was one in Mexico. Black Death? Black Terror? Blackfin? I don't know. I remember watching a video on it a long time ago, though. And I remember that documentary that was implying that BBC News or BBC made, that was implying the megalodon was still alive, though I know it was a fake documentary, but the fact that Ian posted it at the time without a disclaimer was horrid, because I left that watch thinking, oh, I guess they're alive, but they aren't, and I believed it, and I feel like a fool. That being said, though, I have yapped way too long. I think it's about time we get into the video, right?
Welcome to the Shark Cryptid Iceberg. Today we'll be discussing bizarre sightings, theories, and unexpected encounters as we make our way down the chart.
Yes.
Now, before we begin, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Tier 1. Living Megalodon.
Right, it's gonna be the
years,
big
from
big
around
thing.
20 to 3.6 million years ago, the oceans were dominated by a shark species so large and powerful that it dwarfed all others. This was the Megalodon, scientifically named Otodus megalodon.
True, but and listen, I am an old animal freak, as in, like, I grew up reading the books about animals and everything, and same with dinosaurs, and I sort of went in between, right, with the predator bird, what's that, like, sloth bear, what is those? I know technically the mammoth, but that's more widely known, um and then not just the megalodon, but, like, what's that whale? The big toothed whale that would kind of prey on them too. And then what else is there that I know? was kind of crazy. What's that bird with a huge ass wingspan? I forgot. Fuck. I know a lot of somewhat more obscure animals. And like, what's that big lizard in they used to live in Australia, I think? No, I'm thinking about. We're gonna continue, but yeah, I know a lot of
eating
random
giant
facts.
tooth.
A lot of random facts.
This name alone speaks volumes about this predator's skill. For example, its teeth were 3 times the size of those found in great white sharks, reaching lengths
I
of
mean,
up
it
to
was a
60
big
feet.
shark to
The
be
megalodon
sure,
was an apex predator,
but
sitting unchallenged at the top of the food chain.
damn.
But despite this dominance, the megalodon eventually went extinct, leaving behind fossil evidence that
I
still
couldn't
amazes
keep up.
and fascinates researchers.
As far as I know, sorry, I'm pausing a lot, but as far as I am aware, right? Is it I know I heard theories about why it went extinct, and I think the one that made the most sense to me was that the climate was changing, and so the water temperatures got colder during I think the ice age, right? And it couldn't survive in those type of temperatured waters, so eventually that and other factors like its food and whales going to colder climates and everything, and its natural food source kind of like dwindling, so it just couldn't survive.
However, some speculate that these massive sharks may still swim in unexplored parts of our oceans. Viral videos from platforms like TikTok and YouTube have brought in many views with theories about how megalodons could have avoided extinction. Could it be that these massive sharks are hiding in the ocean's uncharted depths? Researchers like Jack Cooper, a doctoral student at Swansea University in the UK,
Look at that,
and part of
though.
the Pimento research group studying
Cool.
ancient marine diversity, this idea lacks any credible evidence. Now, Cooper has extensively studied the megalodon and says there's no real chance of them being alive today. Any suggestion of their survival, especially in unexplored regions, he describes as nonsense, pointing to the lack of any real evidence.
Yeah.
Cooper talks about practical reasons why the megalodon would not likely be hidden somewhere in today's marine ecosystem.
I remember a big part of their argument was simply because them saying that there's a tooth dated somewhat more recent than the expected time they thought it died. But if I remember right, they proved that the dating was not consistent, or was it flat out wrong? I don't know, but there's some argument there.
Systems. The megalodon occupied the role of a dominant coastal predator, so its presence would have made significant impacts on the modern food chain. Not only was it the largest of its kind, but it also occupied a higher position on the food web than any other existing marine predator, indicating that it would have strongly influenced marine life.
I don't know about that.
Cooper says that in its absence, the marine ecosystem shifted. Species like whales that were once prey grew larger after the megalodon's extinction due to less threats. Some of the largest marine mammals alive today, including the blue whale, only evolved after the megalodon disappeared, hinting at the massive ecological footprint it left behind. There's speculation that a creature of such size could thrive in remote areas, like the depths of the Mariana Trench. However, this fails when examining the harsh conditions in those environments. The Mariana Trench, which is 35,000 feet deep, is home mostly to microscopic organisms or species that have adapted to extreme pressures and limited resources. The megalodon, on the other hand, required much larger prey to sustain its energy needs.
It would be
prey that simply
after
doesn't exist in such sparse habitats. He argues that the deep sea environment would be entirely unsuited to a predator of the megalodon's size. Deep sea sharks that have been discovered, although sizable by regular standards, are nowhere even near as large as a megalodon, and the food sources in these depths wouldn't satisfy even a single shark of that scale, let alone a whole population.
I mean, there is big sharks down there, like that one caught on camera once in a deep sea dive, but none of this kind, none of that. I forgot what kind of shark species that was, though. I don't think I can remember it. Though this is beautiful. Like, when I look at this jaw form, I look at that. Like, that's majestic looking.
Shimada, a paleobiologist from DePaul University in Chicago, with a focus on ancient sharks, also says that claims of living megalodons lack proof. When examining why megalodons likely could not thrive in today's oceans, you need to consider the events leading to their extinction. Although researchers still debate the precise cause, Some major theories involve climate change or competition from emerging species like the great white shark, which appeared several million years ago. Shimada mentions that these sharks may have gone extinct due to a combination of environmental shifts and interspecies competition. Now, Cooper points that sea levels dropped significantly during the Pliocene epoch, which was around 5.3 to 2.6 million years ago, a factor that impacted not only the megalodon but also its prey. This reduction in sea levels diminished coastal habitats and limited the food sources essential for such a large predator to thrive. Black demon shark. The Sea of Cortez, which is also called the World's Aquarium by Jacques Cousteau, is home to a remarkable variety of marine life, including over 800 fish species, sea lions, seals, whales, and several types of sharks, from great whites to hammerheads. In 2008, reports surfaced of an exceptionally large shark prowling these waters, nicknamed the Black Demon. Witnesses claimed it measured between 40 to 60 feet, with a deep black color, large eyes, and a highly aggressive demeanor. This immense shark supposedly rammed fishing boats and was linked to unexplained marine mammal deaths, sparking rumors that it might be a surviving megalodon. While these stories
let's be honest, they're probably just doing it for the tourism. Let's be honest. Tourism brings the money.
Captured public imagination, the actual scientific evidence hasn't sustained them. Great whites typically grow no larger than 20 feet, and even though they are apex predators, none of them have approached the sizes that are attributed to the Black Demon. A 2009 Monster Quest episode investigated these sightings.
That's what I was watching. Monster Quest, right? I remember I used to watch some Monster Quest. I remember it. I remember that. Now I remember how I know about this. I did watch that Monster Quest one.
40 feet long, but a docile filter feeder, which shares some physical traits with the Black Demon, but it doesn't have an aggressive reputation. Searches in the Sea of Cortez yielded no concrete evidence of a 40-foot predator harassing boats or attacking marine mammals. The idea of a surviving megalodon is compelling, but is pretty unlikely. As coastal habitats shrank, these enormous predators lost access to the resources needed to sustain their size. Today's marine food webs vastly differ from those that used to support ancient apex predators.
Yeah, exactly.
And they would struggle to accommodate such a massive animal.
I remember those very badly
Although sightings of the Black Demon might seem extraordinary, the Sea of Cortez has already produced
megalodon feeding on whale videos. I used to go around the internet back in the day. It was pretty funny.
Whites was nearly 20 feet long and was captured near the Guamas, and a nursery for great whites was later identified along Baja's coast. Great whites are opportunistic hunters, capable of targeting marine mammals like seals and sometimes even approaching boats. With ample food in the Sea of Cortez, some may have reached their upper size limits, possibly leading to reports of a Black Demon. Comparing potential candidates reveals that great whites as the most plausible match for the Black Demon. Great whites are aggressive predators growing up to 20 feet and use rapid, forceful attacks to subdue their prey, behaviors that could fit Black Demon sightings. But in contrast, whale sharks, although reaching similar lengths, are filter-feeding gentle giants, primarily active at night and uninterested in marine mammals. Although collisions with whale sharks might occur, their behavior lacks the aggression that's given to the Black Demon. Challenger teeth. The megalodon shark, which is known for its colossal size and dominance in prehistoric oceans, is believed to have gone extinct many years ago during the early Pliocene epoch. But despite the scientific consensus, some have suggested that the megalodon may still exist due to discoveries of supposedly recent megalodon teeth
never mind, I do know about
have been dated to sometime in the Pliocene or even Holocene epoch. These claims largely rest on dating methods that have been discredited.
This is what I was talking about.
These teeth belong to the Miocene period, aligning with established timelines for the megalodon fossils.
Right.
One of the most notable instances of this misdating comes from Vladimir Chernesky's work in 1959. He analyzed two megalodon teeth recovered from the seafloor near Tahiti by the HMS Challenger expedition in 1875.
I don't remember why
he attempted to date these teeth by measuring the manganese dioxide coating on them, finding a thickness of 1.7 millimeters on the first tooth and 3.64 millimeters on the second. Using an assumed growth rate of 0.15 meters per 1,000 years, he estimated these teeth to be 11,000 and 24,000 years old, respectively. However, the dating technique he used was quickly deemed unreliable because the buildup of manganese dioxide on fossil teeth occurs inconsistently and does not begin immediately.
Thought so. Okay. So it was that. It's very inconsistent. I see.
After the teeth settled on the ocean floor, which Chernesky's calculations failed to account for, making his results unreliable. In 1970, researchers Bailev and Glickman published a rebuttal to Chernesky's findings. They argued that the growth rate Chernesky used was based on outdated radium dating, which had a rate 20 to 30 times faster than that of the ionium-thorium dating method, which is a more accurate approach. They observed that the megalodon teeth collected in similar contacts were often accompanied by other Miocene-Pliocene species, particularly the Carcharodon hostalis, which is an ancestor of the modern great white shark, and the Paratodus benedeni, which is a type of a false mako shark. The presence of these species, which are distinctly Mio-to-Pliocene, strongly suggests that the megalodon remains from those sediments belong to the same period, invalidating Chernesky's younger dating estimates. Despite these clarifications, manganese dioxide dating of the megalodon teeth continued into the 1980s, so in 1988, Roux and Gesterdorfer revisited the method, using it to estimate the megalodon teeth found off the coast of Madagascar, which ranged in age from 15,000 to 60,000 years. Now, although this is intriguing, this analysis was also flawed, as the teeth were found with other species from the Mio-to-Pliocene era, like the Paradis benedi. So this dating was inconsistent with more reliable geological evidence.
Ah, okay.
Zuyumaro globster.
I don't think
The
I know. No,
Zuyumaru
never mind.
carcass
This is
thought at first to be the remains of
I don't know these names. I think I don't know anything about it, but no, this is what I was talking about. This is the basking shark remains, right? Because the gills right here are decomposed first. So by the time they pick this up, it looks super plesiosaur-like because the bottom part is all missing here. Yeah. And then like yeah. I mean, look at it. If you look at this, right, and you don't know what you're looking at, it does look like a plesiosaur, does it not? Right? But it's actually just a basking shark, and it's such a funny hoax. Cause I mean, if I would just look at it and not know the information, I would 100% think this is a plesiosaur type thing, just by looking at it. But no. I remember so much conversations happened because of this thing.
Creature was discovered in 1979 by a Japanese fishing trawler sailing off the east coast of New Zealand. The trawler's crew was stunned when they hauled in an enormous decaying carcass that looked unlike anything they had seen before.
It's funny that they just
the
threw it back into the
bizarre
ocean.
And unsettling appearance led some to think it was a plesiosaur, a marine reptile from the prehistoric era, thought by some to be related to the Loch Ness Monster legends.
Right.
This excitement around this discovery soon spiraled into speculation, as many believed the carcass belonged to a creature from ancient times. The encounter occurred on April 25, 1977, about 30 miles from Christchurch, New Zealand. As the trawler worked the waters, its nets snagged on something massive and decayed. When the mysterious carcass surfaced, the crew was so shocked by its size and shape that they believed it to be a creature that was yet to be discovered. Despite the chance to preserve the specimen, Captain Akira Tanaka made the decision to return it to the sea, fearing the decaying body would ruin their fish catch. However, before the carcass was released, the crew managed to document this creature. They photographed it, took measurements, and even collected tissue samples, including parts of the skeleton, skin, and fins, for further examination back in Japan. It was nicknamed Nessie by the crew, as the carcass triggered a plesiosaur craze in Japan.
Chad's like, pulls up Eldritch-like corpse. Not today. Not today. It's not an Eldritch corpse, chat. I know it looks like a little bit funky, but it's just a basking shark.
With the shipping company ordering boats to search for the carcass. Though the search was fruitless, interest remained high, and public fascination with plesiosaurs grew rapidly. While the public latched onto the idea of a surviving sea monster, scientists were still skeptical. Marine biologists got to work, analyzing the collected tissue samples, focusing on the muscle structure of the specimen. By comparing the amino acid composition in the tissue, eventually determined that the carcass likely belonged to a basking shark, a conclusion that deflated the plesiosaur theory. When basking sharks decay, they lose parts of their head,
okay, why do we...
and caudal.
I looked away for a second, it's the same, right? How long has this been on the screen? Oh god, for a good, like, 30 seconds. Why is the SCP, I forgot, this is a 682 profile picture here? Why is the SCP girl profile picture here? Yeah, SCP-682. Why are we using the SCP-682 picture on the shark video? It's fucking me up.
fin in ways that can make them look strikingly similar to a plesiosaur, which
Fuck you,
explains
chat. We are not saying the Fullmetal Alchemist Edward. No, Edward. You fucked up for that, chat. You evil for that.
why
Bad.
the crew
Go to hell.
misidentified it. The carcass was recorded as measuring around 13 meters in length and weighing roughly 1,800 kilograms. Crew members noted its long neck, about 1.5 meters in length, along with 4 large reddish fins and a tail measuring around 2 meters. The internal organs had decomposed, but some flesh and fat were still intact, giving the impression of a robust animal despite its decay. Now, the carcass's foul smell and decomposed state left little doubt that it was a remnant of something long dead. Tier 2. Lake Ontario Shark. Ontario residents were startled by a YouTube video claiming to show a bull shark in Lake Ontario. This apparent discovery sent a wave of fear through communities, leading to concerns over beach safety and public danger. However, it was later revealed as a hoax by the Discovery Channel to promote Shark Week. The video nonetheless sparked intense public and political reaction. Bull sharks, known for their tolerance.
Let's say as long as I remember, bull sharks are the ones that could tolerate. That's the word, tolerate. Freshwater. I remember reading a lot of the I Survived books, and there's like I survived a bull shark in something lake. I think that's one of the ones that I remember reading the I Survived books. Oh my god, I'm thinking about it. Ugh, peak books.
Of freshwater have a track record of venturing far inland,
that far,
with sightings as far up the Mississippi River as St. Louis. These aggressive predators are believed to be responsible for many of the 75 annual shark attacks on humans, giving them a reputation for violence and adaptability that magnified the alarm caused by the video. Bull shark adaptability to freshwater habitats left many feeling unsettled, despite assurances that the video was a fabrication. Even if the sighting was false, many wondered if a bull shark could eventually enter the lake through connected waterways, given that the bull shark is an apex predator evolved for power and predation. Some residents argued that the Ontario's leaders should treat the situation seriously, ensuring Lake Ontario and connected bodies of water are entirely shark-free for peace of mind. Lake Sentai Shark. During World War II, George Agogino, stationed with his army unit, took an unusual approach to catching fish for food by dropping a grenade into a lake. The explosive force unexpectedly.
The last time I saw sawfish like this was watching a documentary on Spinosaurus, right? And it was showing this type of fish, one in the ancient times of I think the ones in Egypt, that it used to eat these type of fish since it was semi-aquatic, if I remember right.
Brought a massive 12-foot shark to the surface. In the brief time it was visible, Agogino managed to quickly sketch the creature before it slipped back beneath the water surface. The sighting left an impression on Agogino, who claimed it was clearly a shark, though the environment, a lake far from the ocean.
I just gonna say, are we not gonna point out the man used a goddamn grenade to clear the shark area? Like, we got a little bit of excessive nature there, right? I'm assuming it probably blew up the saw off the fish. I could see how that fish would look like a shark if it's missing the saw. What else am I gonna do with all these grenades? Right, just waste grenades by throwing them in there.
Seemed an unlikely habitat for such a predator. Numerous theories attempt to explain this unusual encounter. One explanation suggests the creature could have been a sawfish, specifically the Pristis microdon, which generally resides in marine or riverine habitats but has occasionally been observed in freshwater environments. Sawfish can grow to impressive lengths, reaching up to 19 feet, much larger than the shark Agogino claimed to see. If the grenade had somehow damaged the fish's signature elongated snout, often referred to as a saw, it could have led Agogino to mistake it for a shark, especially given the chaotic, brief nature.
Sharks look kind of goofy. Like, I know they've been very scary, and hell, if I'm in a water and I see a great white, I'm gonna be like freaking out, right? Like, I'm not gonna act like I'm better than that, right? But if you really just look at them, they kind of look goofy. Like if you like obviously the teeth make it look scary, but like they're kind of goofy looking. I don't know why. Just so like the fact that most sharks, right? Like most normal sharks, if you just flip them upside down, they kind of just get immobilized. A big stun mechanic. They just see doggos. I guess they're just sea doggos. I do call alligators swamp puppies, so I guess
of the sighting. The
sea
blade-like snout,
puppers.
a defining characteristic of the sawfish, might have been unrecognizable if fragmented by the explosion,
I'm assuming
leaving
that's what
only a
happened.
large, streamlined body that could resemble a shark to a casual observer. Another explanation involves the bull shark, a species uniquely adapted to both salt and freshwater environments. These sharks have been observed swimming in freshwater rivers and even lakes, including Lake Jamor in Irian Jaya, making the idea of a freshwater dwelling shark in this area plausible. Bull sharks can grow up to around 11 feet, making them a close match to Agogino's description.
Yeah.
The bull shark's aggressive nature and preference for shallow coastal waters also make it one of the few shark species likely to survive in confined freshwater habitats. However, its presence in a remote lake accessible to Agogino's unit would still make it pretty unusual, adding to the mystery surrounding this wartime sighting.
Sharks are cute.
Timor sea shark.
Yeah, they are.
The Timor sea ground
Whoa,
shark
what
is
the
rumored to be
hell
an
is
enormous,
this?
mysterious shark that lurks along the ocean floor of the Timor.
Sir, I don't think this is a shark. I think this might be Cthulhu's cousin. What's a good name? I don't know, Mordecai. I think this is Cthulhu's relative. I don't think this is a shark at all. What is this? A sharkopus? Like, what are we talking about here?
Timor Sea. Witnesses claim it's even larger than a great white, which typically maxes out at around 15 feet. This ground shark allegedly lies in an ambush on the seabed, waiting for unsuspecting fish or creatures to swim close. Description of its appearance add to its mystery. This shark reportedly lacks the large prominent dorsal fin seen on most sharks, making it less recognizable. It's also rumored to have attacked humans, making it as potentially dangerous and adding to the speculation about its true identity and nature. There are a few theories trying to explain this strange shark. Carl Schucker, a researcher in cryptozoology, has suggested that it might be a giant type of wobbegong shark, which is a species known for lying camouflaged on the seafloor and being ready to ambush prey. One species in particular, the spotted wobbegong, lives in waters close to the Timor Sea. The spotted wobbegong can grow up to about 13.5 feet, almost as large as the reported size of the ground shark, and shares some similar traits. Known as carpet sharks, the wobbegons have flattened bodies and mottled patterns, helping them blend into the ocean floor. They aren't usually aggressive, but have been known to attack waters or people fishing in shallow waters if they get too close to them. While this spotted species is the largest known,
It looks like
an
a catfish,
undiscovered,
kind of,
even
though.
larger variation isn't entirely out of the question, considering how vast and unexplored the ocean remains. But another theory points to the
so
possibility
ugly,
of
it's
the
kinda
ground shark
cute,
being a
it's
new
kinda
species
goofy.
entirely. Much of the ocean remains uncharted, especially in deep sea areas like the Timor Sea. So if this ground shark does exist, it may be adapted for life on the seafloor, perhaps explaining why it doesn't need a prominent dorsal fin. The alleged accounts of its behavior suggest it might be a predator, possibly dangerous to humans, even though details are sparse and are speculative. Pseudoplesiosaur.
Fire
A
it.
pseudoplesiosaur is a type of lobster, an ambiguous mass that often washes ashore, stirring
Are we exploring the basking shark remains again? This is what I mean, right? Because of the structure and everything. It's if it decays, right? It's gonna lose the gills. It's gonna lose the bottom fin, and it's gonna decay a bit here and here in the top part. It's gonna look like a plesiosaur. Man, they're all xenoprized. Okay. All right. You know what's funny? It's funny. We have a video somewhat relating to Xenocide, all right, with Praise the Emperor, all right. I think we'll get there later.
curiosity and speculation about its origin. These masses are usually the remains of a basking shark.
Yeah.
When a basking shark decays in a specific
So
way,
they really
it can
explain the
take on a
gills.
form that resembles a prehistoric marine reptile, known as a plesiosaur. This happens because the shark loses its large gill arches, and most of its fins, creating an outline to the untrained eye that looks similar to the long-necked, fin-shaped, which is often associated with plesiosaurs.
Look at that.
Some of these decayed sharks have even been described as hairy, which is an illusion caused by the exposure and breakdown of muscle fibers over time. The earliest widely recognized pseudoplesiosaur was the Stronsay beast, a large carcass that washed ashore in 1808 on the coast of Stronsay, a small Scottish island.
Ow!
The Stronsay
Dota,
beast
we're
caused
doing
a
an
sensation due to its unusual
we're
appearance.
doing a shark cryptids iceberg chat. All right. That's what we're doing, chat. Okay, all right. Oh, did the thoroughbred not work? Oh, I'm sorry for that.
Which sparked debates and rumors that a mysterious,
I think I
possibly
forgot to
ancient
connect it.
creature had
Ah,
surfaced
fuck.
from the depths.
I'll fix that later.
People have described it as having an elongated body, leading many to believe it might be a surviving plesiosaur. However, its decayed state and certain anatomical features suggest it was likely a basking shark that had been transformed by natural decomposition. Another notable example is the Zuigomaru lobster, a strange carcass discovered by Japanese fishermen in 1977 off the coast of New Zealand. This lobster was initially thought to be the remains of an unknown sea creature because it displayed some features that looked like a plesiosaur, including a long neck and a body structure that seemed different from typical marine animals. Photos and descriptions circulated widely, capturing public attention and leading some to speculate it was evidence of a surviving prehistoric species. However, when further analysis was done, which included examining tissue samples,
there's no chance that there is.
Indicated that it too was likely the remains of a basking shark whose shape had shifted during decomposition. Zane and Lauren Gray.
Zane and Lauren Gray.
The accounts of massive, unusual sharks encountered by Zane Grey and his son Lauren Gray are among the more notable ones in history. Zane Grey, a well-known novelist and sport fisherman, wrote of his encounter in his 1931 book, Tales of Tahitian Waters. In June 1928, near the Rangaro Atoll in the South Pacific, Gray and his party aboard several boats were in the midst of reeling in yellowfin tuna when a large shark surfaced near them. Unlike typical predatory sharks, it ignored the hooked tuna and moved slightly beneath the boats before diving out of sight moments later. Gray described the shark as yellowish-green with a few white spots, a square head, and large pectoral fins. Its body is oddly proportioned, with a wide interior narrowing significantly toward the back.
Spotted, yellow, but it's blue, but people get confused, they see things. Square head. Sounds exactly like a whale shark.
Which ended in a thinner tail section. He estimated the animal's width around 8 feet and its length somewhere between 35 to 40 feet. Lauren Gray later recounted a separate encounter with a similar shark in the 1976 book, Shark, the Killer of the Deep. This sighting occurred in 1933, about 100 miles northwest of Rangara. While Lauren and Zane were aboard the steamer SS Maungauni, Lauren described spotting a large shark surface near the ship, alerting Zane and others on board who reportedly also saw it. This shark had a yellowish-brown color and appeared to be covered in hundreds of white spots, which upon closer inspection turned out to be barnacles.
Why are we so Warhammer oriented today?
Its head was round and massive, about 10 to 12 feet wide, while the shark itself measured around somewhere between 40 and 50 feet in length. Neither Zane nor Lauren attributed these sightings to the extinct megalodon, contrary to later interpretations in cryptozoological literature.
Well, my favorite faction is Grey Knight,
so the species, they were insistent that it was not a whale shark, despite some overlapping characteristics. Zane's description bears some similarities to a whale shark.
It literally sounds exactly like a whale shark
and shape, as well as the broad head and prominent pectoral fins. The estimated length falls within the known range for whale sharks, and the square-headed anterior heavy form fits the general body plan of a whale shark.
It does.
While
perfectly.
Zane described a low number of white spots, visibility issues due to water conditions and lighting could have obscured more typical patterning. Interestingly, in an earlier encounter, Zane had noted that an observed whale shark initially appeared green to him before he recognized its true color.
Which is?
The shark's disinterest in the tuna aligns with the whale shark feeding habits, as whale sharks do not consume fish of that size. This passive behavior contrasts with known predatory sharks including Megalodon, which likely preyed on large fish and marine mammals. Now, Megalodon and related species have a distinctively tapered, pointed head and a solid dark coloration, which would not match the spotted, broad-headed description given by Zane and Lauren. Unlike the gray shark, a true predator would likely have attacked the hooked tuna, taking advantage of an easy meal. Lauren's description bears a few additional similarities to a whale shark, although some elements don't exactly align. The length, color, and rounded head fit, but Lauren's observation of
I low-key appreciate from this, that's kind of like, it wouldn't really be relevant, The fact that this is an actual person reading and not an AI reading out a script, because I kind of got old. I got over the AI. You know, I first I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, but then I kind of got sick of hearing the same voice over and over explaining everything.
Barnacles is unusual for any shark species, including whale sharks and megalodon. Sharks have skin covered in dermal denticles, hardened scales that prevent barnacles from attaching to the surface. Whale sharks are no exception, as their ribbed, enameloid-coated denticles effectively repel barnacles. Now, whale species often host various barnacles, but Lauren was adamant that the animal he saw was a shark, confirmed by the shape of its vertically oriented caudal fin, which would differ from the horizontally oriented tail fins of whales. Captain Hannah's fish. Captain Hannah's fish, an unusual creature reportedly sighted in the North Atlantic, particularly near the Gulf of Maine, has a body unlike any typical fish. Measuring about 25 feet long and with a maximum thickness of around 10 inches, this strange fish has a sinus eel-like shape, moving with a serpentine motion that makes it look more like a sea serpent than a fish. Its coloring was described as a dark slate gray along the top, fading to a grayish white on the underside, giving it a somewhat shadowy appearance in the water. This creature's head was notably flat, extending out over a small mouth, filled with sharp teeth, which is an uncommon feature that added to its unsettling look. It also had distinctive gill slits, two small, rayed pectoral fins near the front, and a triangular dorsal fin positioned just behind its head. A caudal fin rounded the tail, further distinguishing it from most fish in the region. Captain S.W. Hannah first encountered this unusual creature in August 1880 off the coast of New Harbor, Maine, when it became tangled in his fishing net. However, it didn't become part of any official records because he chose to discard it, frustrated by the damage it had done to his net. Despite his decision, the brief encounter and his descriptions of the fish left a lasting impression, contributing to the intrigue around what Hannah might have thought. Why do people just throw away the fish? I swear. Hypothesis suggested by
looks like a new species I caught. Let me throw it over the edge and take no pictures. Make sure I tell people about it, but have no actual evidence. Why not? I swear.
Hievelmans is that this fish could have been an unknown species of elongated shark, possibly a larger version of the frilled shark. This species has a unique appearance, known for its long eel-like body and a mouth located at the tip of its snout, which is quite an unusual feature for the shark family. Typically, the frilled shark grows to about 6 feet in length and inhabits the deep waters of the eastern Atlantic, which is closer to the seafloor, even though a few sightings have occurred in the western Atlantic as well. While this species has a distinctive appearance, no frilled shark has been recorded with rayed fins, which makes the exact identification uncertain. But larger varieties of the frilled shark may exist, as evidenced by a case documented by David Steed in 1907. In that instance, the skull and vertebrae of a 12-foot fish, which was
Why he got that side eye though? He looks kind of like if you put glasses on him, he look like a nerd.
Believed to be a frilled shark, washed ashore in Sydney, Australia, which is twice the length typical of frilled shark specimens, which suggests the possibilities of even larger undiscovered variants. And then there's another theory, which was proposed by marine researcher Ben Rossick, suggests that Captain Hannah's fish could belong to an unknown species of pony fish rather than a shark. This theory is based on a few specific anatomical details, such as the fish's lack of pelvic fins and the unique position of its dorsal fin. Bony fish, unlike sharks, may exhibit a rayed fin structure described by Hannah, which aligns more closely with his observations. Luska. Luska is a name given to a mysterious sea creature. Oh my god,
I was joking about Octoshark. Why do we got Octoshark here? I was making a joke about Octoshark. No way! What is this monstrosity of a build? How does one achieve this build? What? Tentacles make everything better. Chat, stop. No. Bad. No.
Reportedly seen in the Caribbean, often described as a monstrous octopus that dwarfs the largest known octopus species, and even the giant squid. Some legends go further, describing it as a bizarre blend of shark and octopus, with the head and body of a shark, yet adorned with tentacles, giving it an unusual and frightening appearance that has taken over the imagination of those who frequent the region's waters. Sightings of this creature are often tied to the blue holes around Andros Island in the Bahamas. These blue holes are underwater sinkholes that drop sharply to significant depths, creating a dark, eerie habitat that has fostered tales of strange and dangerous marine life. On January 18, 2011, a large mass resembling part of a gigantic octopus washed up on the Grand Bahama Island. Those who saw it believed they were looking at a portion of an enormous...
Why? This is so stupid. Why do we have Octo Shark here? Octo Shark is kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of dumb. Kind of stupid, kind of dumb, I'm not gonna lie.
Creature with only fragments
Consider
of its
this
head
right here,
and mouth parts
tentacles.
visible. Based on what they observed, local fishermen estimated the original creature could...
Why? This is so stupid. It has no, like... Oh, you know what? We're just gonna move on.
That stretched to 20 or 30 feet when alive, although only portions of it were visible in the remains. Descriptions of the Luska vary pretty widely. Some reports claim it can grow to a staggering length of over 75 feet, with some accounts pushing the figure as high as 200 feet. If this was true, this would make it far larger than any known octopus species, as no verified species of octopus reaches even half that size. But for such a massive creature to strike from the ocean surface, as some stories suggest, it would likely need one of its tentacles anchored to the seabed, which implies these encounters would have to occur in shallow waters, rather than in the depths where such creatures might more feasibly dwell. Eyewitnesses have noted that the Luska...
What do you mean? I'm a fan of the Grey Knights. My job is as a Grey Knight lover is to know that to hate on Angeron, okay? Obviously, I know they exist.
Reportedly changes color. An ability common...
By the way, YouTube, my chat just loves Warhammer, okay? That's the running joke in the back, right?
And smaller octopuses that use the skill for camouflage.
No, wait, you know about the
which further supports the idea
and
that
you're
it
not
could
a
be
Grey
massive,
Knight?
unidentified octopus. The habitats of the Luska are said to be rugged, complex underwater landscapes such as the large undersea caves, the edge of the continental shelf, and rocky formations where giant crustaceans, their presumed prey, might live. Such terrain provides both cover and access to food, making it an ideal habitat for a creature that would need to stay hidden while ambushing prey. While many cryptozoologists link the Luska to an enormous octopus, others have suggested that the creature might be something completely different, describing it variously as a multi-headed beast, a dragon-like animal, or even a malevolent sea spirit haunting the waters. Tier 3.
Alright.
Giant cookie cutter shark. The giant cookie cutter shark.
Look at him, he looks so goofy.
To exist in the Arctic waters off Alaska and possibly near Greenland. Unlike typical cookie cutter sharks, which measure around 2 feet in length, this hypothetical giant variant is theorized based on unusual bite marks on a narwhal carcass near Alaska. These bite marks appear to be round, matching the characteristic bites made by cookie cutter sharks, but on a much larger scale. The narwhal was brought up alongside the vessel of a colleague shark researcher Eugene Clark, and while it was discovered
I realized it kind of looks like, if you ignore the eyes, right here, it kind of looks like a big eyes here, some nose, a big eyes, a big nose, a long face, and a big mouth. It looks pretty goofy if you really look at it. It looks like it's chat and YouTube watchers, you better praise the Emperor. Chat, chill with the Emperor stuff, right? We're trying to do sharks, alright, sharks.
Colleague shark researcher Eugene Clark, and while it was discovered at night, it wasn't closely examined until morning. It remains uncertain whether the narwhal had been killed by whatever caused the bites, or if it was nearly scavenged after death.
I'm assuming it's scavenged.
Eugene Clark, who spent years studying shark species, suggested that these large, round bite marks could be evidence of an unknown larger species of cookie cutter shark. Cookie cutter sharks use their unique method of biting to extract small plugs of flesh from their prey, often leaving distinct circular scars. Known species of cookie cutter sharks are fairly small, only reaching about 60 centimeters. But the size and shape of the bite marks on the narwhal hinted at a creature much larger than the typical size. However, not everyone in the scientific community agreed with this hypothesis. Marine biologist Richard Martin proposed that these marks might have been made by a Pacific sleeper shark, a species known to scavenge marine mammals. The Pacific sleeper shark, along with the related Greenland shark, has been observed scattering the bodies of whales and seals in Arctic and subarctic waters. Martin stated that cases where similar circular injuries were discovered on narwhals off Greenland, which had been observed by photographer Fred Bruemmer. In those cases, the Greenland shark was implicated as the culprit, and Martin reasoned that the same could be true for the narwhal found near Alaska. Now, despite Martin's suggestion, a mystery remains about how sleeper sharks would be able to create such distinctive circular bite marks. While these sharks are capable scavengers and known to inhabit the icy waters of the north, their usual feeding behavior does not typically result in the perfectly round wounds of the cookie-cutter sharks. The exact mechanics that would allow sleeper sharks to produce this kind of bite pattern remain unexplained, adding to the mystery surrounding the origin of the bite marks on the narwhal carcass. Munguryu misidentification. The creature reported in the Rio Paraguay drainage and the swamps of the Gran Chaco region in Paraguay has an unusual and distinctive description.
Catfish?
Observers describe it as resembling a massive slug or snake, with a body width comparable to that of a horse.
I'm thinking
the
it's
head
a
is
catfish,
said to be
no?
a dog-like in shape, but lacks teeth, giving it a soft-mouthed and maybe deceptive appearance. Its tail is short and stumpy, concealing a dangerous feature, a barbed spike rumored to carry poison. This spike is thought to be its primary defense, a feature that would make any close encounter even more risky. The creature's behavior adds to its unsettling reputation, as stories claim it has pulled both dogs and people underwater.
Yeah, this is the catfish.
This behavior, along with this appearance, suggests it could be a powerful, stealthy predator or a formidable presence in the murky waters it inhabits. With accounts describing it as attacking animals and even humans, it has earned a place in local folklore, seen as a threat to those who venture too close to the water's edge. Many theories try to explain what this creature might be, but none of the explanations have fully clarified its nature. One possibility, suggested by the explorer Percy Fawcett, is that it could be a type of toothless freshwater shark. The only known shark capable of remaining in freshwater for extended periods of time is the bull shark, known for its aggressive nature and adaptability to rivers, including the Amazon.
It's just like catfish.
However, bull sharks are equipped with triangular serrated teeth, unlike the descriptions of this creature, which seem to lack any teeth in general. Another possible explanation is that it could be a giant catfish.
That's what I'm saying.
Some catfish are known to grow to enormous sizes, sometimes reaching 18 feet in length and weighing up to half a ton.
One reason I know about catfish is because I watch River Monsters. Hello, my name is Jeremy Wade, and today we're going to be going to the Amazon jungles. There's been folklore and stories about a killer in the waters, and today we're going to see if I could find him. I love that, man.
Specimens can occasionally become toothless, which might fit with the toothless appearance of this mysterious animal. Large catfish are capable of living in freshwater and are strong swimmers, making them plausible candidates for some of the behaviors attributed to this creature. Catfish are known to inhabit murky, slow-moving waters, which aligns with the swampy, riverine habitats where sightings of this creature have been reported. A third hypothesis offered by Mike Grayson is that the creature could be a large sturgeon. Sturgeon are known for their elongated bodies, bony plates, and some can reach impressive sizes in northern waters. However, no sturgeon species is native to the southern hemisphere, and no sturgeon would fit this creature's distinct features, particularly its stumpy tail with a hidden barbed spike. Sturgeons also possess a rough, armored skin texture and don't typically have the soft, slug-like body as described by these witnesses. Broughton Island Shark. In 1918, lobster fishermen out of Port Stephens, Australia, reported a remarkable encounter with what they believed to be a massive shark, possibly the largest ever recorded. The creature was described as a ghostly white color and measured anywhere between 115 and 300 feet, a sight that left the experienced fishermen shaken. The account was documented by David Steed, an Australian naturalist, who recounted the intense reactions of the fishermen. For days, the men refused to venture back to their usual fishing grounds near Broughton Island. They described the creature as an immense shark with a frightening ability to destroy and swallow their crayfish pots, along with the mooring lines. As it swam through their territory, these pots, which were over 3 feet in diameter, held dozens of crayfish, each weighing several pounds. The fishermen, familiar with the typical marine life of the area, were unanimous in describing the shark as a size they could scarcely have imagined before seeing it. Some claimed it was as long as the wharf at Nelson Bay, nearly 115 feet, while others insisted it stretched closer to 300 feet, with the water boiling as it moved through the ocean. They described the creature's head as being as wide as the
Water
roof of the
boiling
wharf
as it goes
shed,
to the ocean
evoking
is
an
crazy.
image of an enormous, unearthly predator. Steed and the local fisheries inspector Mr. Payton listened to these accounts and were struck by how certain the men were, despite the seemingly exaggerated size. The fishermen described its color as ghostly white, something they found particularly unsettling, and insisted they had never seen anything similar in their years of experience at sea. This sighting has since been considered one of the most striking anecdotal pieces suggesting that an ancient shark species, such as a megalodon, might still exist.
Oh god,
However,
we're back
other
to that
explanations have
megalodon
been
stuff.
proposed over the years.
Can we leave it in the past?
Some believe the fishermen might have actually encountered a giant whale shark, a species known to grow to significant sizes, though not quite the scale
always a
reported by the
whale
Port
shark.
Stevens men. Whale sharks can reach lengths of around 60 feet, and there are unconfirmed accounts suggesting they might grow even larger. A former shark captain, Bill Lewis, once claimed to have seen a larger shark measuring 90 feet in length, following his boat in Montauk, New York, so close that he feared it might damage the vessel. According to him, the shark's head was as wide as the boat's stern, about 17 feet across. Now, given this potential size, it's possible the Port Stevens creature was an extraordinarily large whale shark, its size magnified in the minds of terrified fishermen. The creature's behavior also raised some questions. The Port Stevens shark was said to have destroyed the fishermen, swallowing them along with the crustaceans inside. This behavior seems unusual for a typical shark, as carnivorous sharks are unlikely to consume
for
metal
a
pots,
whale
even if they're
shark.
filled with crustaceans. However, whale sharks are filter feeders that consume
Yep.
tiny crustaceans like krill, which could explain an attraction to lobster pots filled with crayfish. A hungry whale shark might have ingested the pots, later spitting out the debris, consuming the crustaceans, an act that would leave the fishermen's equipment destroyed, and likely abandoned on the seafloor. To those observing from above, this could appear as if the shark was devouring the pots themselves, adding to the sense of horror. Now, to add to the confusion, is the reported color of the shark. The fishermen consistently described it as a ghostly white, which is uncommon, not unheard of, for whale sharks. Albino or pale white whale sharks,
You know what? That
even
makes
though
sense.
are rare, have been documented. Pale-colored, unusually large whale shark feeding in a chaotic manner could easily have been mistaken for something far more dangerous by fishermen which are unfamiliar with such a creature. J.S. Elkington Shark.
Never heard of this one.
David Steed recounted a remarkable
at
sighting
the
in his
goofy nose,
works,
though.
Sharks and Rays of Australian Seas, based on a 1939 letter from Captain J.S. Elkington. According to Elkington, the incident occurred in 1894 off the coast of Townsville, Queensland, Australia. While stranded in a small 35-foot launch that had broken down, Elkington reported that a massive shark appeared and lingered just 10 feet from his boat for about half an hour. The creature was so large that it extended several feet beyond each end of the launch, which led Elkington to estimate its length at least equal to or greater than the boat's length. He described the shark as a pale yellowish white, and he was convinced it was a great white, dismissing the possibility of it being a basking shark. The tale's credibility has been questioned, as a similar story appeared in marine biologist Theo W. Brown's 1973 book, Sharks: The Silent Savages. Brown's account
Why
contains key details
is
attributing the sighting to an
swear,
anonymous captain.
everybody's just hating on sharks, bro? They make them seem so scary. While they look scary, it's like a thing. Angels will look scary to ward off evil, but the devils will look nice to ward in, fresh people or prey, whatever. Point is, we should be more scared of dolphins and orcas than we are. I mean, orcas don't really attack humans that much because, they are kind of trendy animals, We all saw that. We all saw their trends. But we should be more scared of those animals than we are of a shark because it's way more likely you get attacked by a fish or a dolphin or other fish than a shark.
Altering the year to 1963 and increasing the size of the launch to 85 feet. However, the
They get a bad
location
rep.
remained near Townsville, specifying the Great Barrier Reef, and the shark was still described as being as long or longer than the boat, with a similar white or pale coloration. Now, due to these suspicious similarities, Brown's account is widely considered to be lifted from Elkington's original report, with embellishments meant to add drama. So contrary to Elkington's conviction, many researchers have suggested that the size, behavior, and coloration described might be more consistent with a basking shark or a whale shark rather than a great white. Basking sharks, though similar in general body shape to great whites, are much larger and sometimes exhibit lighter coloration,
Look how these
which
guys
could
look.
resemble albinism or leucism in certain.
I like the fact that the basking sharks, wow, are not carnivore. Or I mean, they are carnivores. I mean, are not like predators really, and like filter feeders and everything. Looks so horrific. Like someone asked the shark. The shark pictures always look like the shark. Like someone asked the shark a question, and the shark wasn't expecting it, but don't want to ask what the question is in case it would be rude. I don't know about that.
Conditions. Their peaceful nature, especially compared to
Yo,
the
he's
often
realized.
aggressive
Yo, shark pog face. Shark pog face.
reputation of the great white, could align with the calm basking shark in the area, though they are primarily filter feeders rather than apex predators. Historical context may have influenced Elkington's perception. A supposedly enormous great white, estimated at 36.5 feet, was reportedly captured off Port Fairy, Victoria, in Australia, in 1870, though later analysis revised the size down to about 17.7 feet. Such reports may have made Elkington and others more
Look at
inclined to believe
that.
in
It's
extraordinarily
amazing, I'll be
large
honest.
sharks. A curious aspect
This
of
looks
Elkington's
amazing.
account
This is
is the
amazing,
shark's
like, to look
apparent
at.
ability to remain stationary for an extended period near the stalled boat. Large pelagic sharks are ram ventilators, which means they need to keep swimming to force water over their gills for breathing. Remaining still, especially for a prolonged period, is uncharacteristic of these species, as it would limit their oxygen intake. Marine mammals like whales can rest motionless while breathing air and can even float after death, but their anatomy is quite different from sharks, making them hard to mistake for one. Dave Brink's shark. In the 1970s, sailor Dave Brinks and his wife had an unnerving encounter with what they believed to be an enormous great white shark while they were sailing their 40-foot boat roughly 100 miles west of Monterey Bay, California. As they moved along, the shark approached their
Oh my god, this is shark hater propaganda right here. We got propaganda right here. Shark hater propaganda. You know what the shark is gonna be feeling after it jumps and hits a boat? Oh my god, that seal was so hard. Ow!
vessel, swimming
The
close enough
seagulls are the real problem. Also, have a good day, Power. Thank you for stopping by. Seagulls are the real problem for sure.
for them to get a
The
clear
real
view.
menaces.
To their astonishment, the shark appeared to match the length of their boat, making it a truly massive sight in the water beside them. The sheer size and proximity of the creature were unsettling, as most great whites encountered off the coast, while large, rarely reach such lengths. This encounter escalated when the shark suddenly shifted course, turning away from the side of the boat and diving underneath. As it passed directly below, the force of its body moving so close to the hull caused the boat to jolt upwards. Brinks and his wife felt the entire vessel lift briefly before the shark continued on its path, disappearing into the depths as quickly as it appeared. Tier 4. Lake Michigan Shark.
Oh, right.
In 1955, a young boy named George Lawson had a terrifying experience while swimming.
We got what are those? I know those like I know these ones swimmed in packs, right? Very aggressive, very big teeth. I know about the sharks though, but is that what is supposed to be a mosasaur? Barracuda? Some type of fish? Fuck. What was this swarm? What's that one guy that would uh not lost in time. He would like it was that one guy that would that do like a dinosaur TV show, and he did one with sea monsters. And he would have like a map that would take him back in time. There's a Dunkleosteus episode. There's a uh was the giant crocodile episode. There was fuck. I know there was a mosasaur one, and but that was the last episode. I forgot what it was called though. What was the show? There's one with the sea scorpions. I forgot what the show's called. But yeah, it looks like one of the environments they did in their Mosasaur episode.
In Lake Michigan, near Chicago, when he was reportedly attacked by a shark, an event that would be strange enough in any freshwater lake, but especially so in the Great Lakes. Lawson was pulled from the water by a man named John Adler, who upon rescuing him discovered that most of the boy's right leg was missing, seemingly taken by the creature. Shocked by the injury, Adler later commented on how difficult it was to comprehend what he had seen, but the evidence before him was undeniable. This story raises many questions, particularly about whether a shark could truly reach the Great Lakes and survive. Bull sharks, known for their unique ability to adapt to fresh water, are the only species that might plausibly navigate from the ocean, up through rivers, and eventually reach lakes. However, even for bull sharks, the journey to the Great Lakes would be challenging, as it would require swimming hundreds of miles through connecting
What is
waterways.
this forward profile picture, bro? Man's wide like that. My boy, you need to get on a diet, bro. No wonder you can't catch shit, bro. My man got that wide stance. Oh my god, bro is built like a burrito, bro. Bro is built like a goddamn bean, bro. Bro is not built to be an aquatic predator. Man is built to be in a buffet line, bro. Jesus.
That include locks, dams, and other obstacles, not to mention the colder
The shark
temperature of the
equipment
northern freshwater lakes. Yet, sightings of bull sharks have been reported in rivers far from the ocean, and they have been documented swimming up the Mississippi River on rare occasions, suggesting the possibility, all but remote, that one could eventually reach the Great Lakes. Lake Superior Shark. In a tongue-in-cheek confession, the creator of the viral Lake Superior bull shark encounter video explained how he had sparked an online uproar with a toy shark fin. His lighthearted escapade started in early August when he posted a picture on social media wearing the fin, captioning it, "It's unclear where these rumors of sharks in Lake Superior originate, but I'll be swimming up and down the beaches until I get to the bottom of it." Intended as an open joke, the post poked fun at the long-running local myth of sharks in Lake Superior, a recurring theme on bumper stickers and common joke in duelist mayoral lore. The prank evolved as he posted photos from his investigation showing off his shark fin against the rocky beaches
look at
and
that
open waters
smile,
of Lake Superior.
though. Man's going
Despite
up
some
with a big smile for his for the school's picture day. You know, man's got that wide smile for you. I think he's ready.
unintentional glimpses of his
He looks
web
like a happy little guy.
swim gloves, and camera stick in the shots, he felt the idea had potential. He began referring it to as a bull shark, a name choice that conveniently shortened to BS, a humor nod shortened to BS, which is a humorous nod to the improbable nature of the claim. Between August 9 and 11, one of his friends shot 2 brief videos of him wearing the fin in the lake. One clip taken from a distance obscured his fin enough to maintain the mystery. The second was closer, showing a shark fin lunge with the beachgoer seemingly in its path, creating a perfect setup for a cheap jump scare. He edited the clips, removed the audio that included his friend's laughter and some comments about his swim technique, and edited out his blue flippers, though traces of them remained in some frames. Finally, on August 12, he uploaded the edited video to YouTube with the title Lake Superior Bull Shark Encounter 8/8/20 and shared it across his social media channels. The response was rapid and wild. Initially, it gained modest views, but within hours, it was shared thousands of times, landing on Reddit, where users debated its authenticity and speculated it was a Shark Week hoax. News aggregator sites picked up the post, and soon even a Chicago Fox News affiliate was featuring it, making it appear as if a mainstream outlet was reporting on a real shark problem in Duluth. As the video's views climbed, the prankster watched and was amused, but also aware of the potential for misinformation. So to address this, he doubled down on the joke, releasing a follow-up article titled Lake Superior Bull Shark Eradicated by Duluth Anonymous Navy. This news piece claimed the mayor of Duluth had commissioned a local autonomous navy to handle the shark situation, with the fictional navy reportedly killing the bull shark in a cartoonish encounter. Once again, local news sites picked up the satire story, adding another layer to the web of humor surrounding the original video. So back on Reddit, the prank continued to spark debate, and then one commenter, determined to unmask the truth behind this video, took it upon himself to confront him, messaging him about the shark conspiracy and suggesting that a hoax of this magnitude could impact his local reputation. He replied in character, and he revealed that the joke's nature and inviting them to check out his essay, where he planned to discuss the video's impact as a humorous case study in misinformation. Abyssal Zone Sharks.
Abyssal Zone Sharks? I don't think I've heard this.
In 1954, deep-sea explorers George
My boy looks
Hewitt
traumatized. I'm not gonna lie. What did you see,
set
my
a
man?
record for the
You look
deepest manned
traumatized.
dive at 4,050 meters in the Atlantic Ocean, about 258 kilometers southwest of Dakar, Senegal. During this descent in the Basque FNRS-3, they unexpectedly spotted a shark at a depth where no sharks had previously been recorded. Hewitt described the shark around 2 meters in length, with large, protruding eyes that seemed designed for the darkness of the abyssal zone. This unexpected encounter spurred Hewitt to remark on how unusual it was to see a shark at such a depth, like parachuting into the Sahara and finding a lion waiting. Despite the constant darkness, the shark swam confidently toward the battleship's light, briefly investigating the porthole behind the
Hey,
gliding
there is some type of sharks that just live in the deep areas, you know? Like goblin sharks.
Later clarified that the creature was a type of deep-sea dogfish, likely a member of the deep-sea dogfish, but also commonly known as gulfer sharks. In an article,
Deep sea dogfish, the double D, the DD.
he mentioned having encountered similar dogfish in Toulon
Yeah,
Canyon
goblin shark.
off the coast of France in the Mediterranean Sea at 2,200 meters, even including a photograph of one taken at the depth. These observations suggested that a few species of central forests, such as C. granulosus, might inhabit abyssal depths, as it can reach lengths of 1.8 meters. The dimensions he observed were slightly larger, likely an overestimation due to the deep-sea conditions and limitations of visibility. While abyssal sightings of sharks remain uncommon due to physiological constraints, Hewitt's documentation has fueled further curiosity. In 1974, scientists Colby and Siapno reported
Wait a
an
minute.
encounter with
Wasn't there like a shark found in like hot vents, like underwater water volcano vent area recently? Like a sharks? I remember that. I feel like that was. I remember seeing a post about that, and I didn't look into it because I wasn't that interested. But now I feel like I should have, because I would have found out if it was fake or not, right? But so I don't know if this is just misinformation or anything, because that spreads around very quick these days. But there might be some sharks that live near vents, which is kind of interesting, you know?
a dark-colored sleeper shark at 4,000 meters in the North Pacific Ocean using a remote television camera. This sighting, however, lacked a lot of verification with no recorded footage or precise location details, making it less reliable than Hewitt's account. The next confirmed record of a sleeper shark in the deep is from 2,200 meters for the Pacific sleeper and 2,900 meters for the Greenland shark. The adaptation to such extreme depths presents substantial changes, making Hewitt's sighting all the more noteworthy. Other deep-sea sharks, such as the cookie cutter shark, have been found around 3,700 meters in the Gulf of Mexico, showing that while sighting
Goofy ass picture. Man, I'm sorry, bro. I don't think the side profile works out for you, my guy. You look kind of a little too round. You gotta work on that jawline a little bit, then maybe you could do a side profile, bro.
sightings are rare, some species have managed to reach remarkable depths. As for the dogfish Hewitt and Willem encountered,
Bro
it
is
seems to have been a
round.
species suited to the unique conditions of the abyss, lurking at the edges of human exploration into the ocean's most extreme environments. Thomas Helm shark. Thomas Helm was an American author and maritime enthusiast who wrote extensively about the sea and its mysteries. One of his notable works is Shark, Unpredictable Killer of the Sea, published in 1963. In this book, Helm explores various aspects of sharks, including their biology, behavior, and interactions with humans. He also delves into accounts of unusually large sharks. One intriguing account Helm discusses is the 1918 Broughton Island incident in Australia. Local fishermen reported a massive great white shark that was so large it allegedly stole their heavy crayfish pots.
Bro, side profiles aren't your thing, bro. Put it away, put it away.
Estimated the shark's length to be between 115 and 300 feet, though such measurements are likely exaggerated due to the shock and fear experienced during their encounter. Helm's writings also touch upon the elusive nature of certain shark species, such as the megamouth shark, which was only discovered in 1976, years after his book was published. This deep-sea dweller was unknown to science until a chance encounter, emphasizing how little was known about some shark species during Helm's time.
Yep.
Tier 5. Giant Goblin Shark.
Yeah, there we go.
The goblin shark was
Ugly
long
looking
believed to reach a
motherfuckers.
maximum length of around 3.
Yeah, motherfucker said a couple too many lies, bro. My God, got that Pinocchio nose. How do you want to achieve this build?
0.8 meters, with this size holding steady as the upper limit for many years. This assumption was overturned in the 2000s when 2 goblin sharks caught in the Gulf of Mexico revealed a whole new perspective on the species' potential size. These findings not only redefined the goblin shark as larger than previously thought, but also established it as the third longest species of the lamniform order, just behind the great white and basking shark, but slightly ahead of the small-toothed sand tiger. The first of these exceptional goblin sharks was captured in 2000 in the northern Gulf, hauled from a depth ranging between 919 and 1099 meters. This individual was a female. While it wasn't measured directly, estimates based on the fishing rope in the photographs indicated it was somewhere between 5 and 6 meters in length, a staggering size for a creature once considered mid-sized.
That is
the second encounter was another large female caught in 2014 in the southeastern Gulf at a depth of 490 meters. Like the first, it wasn't measured directly, so researchers estimated its length based on calculations.
Why? I'm telling you, they never measure it. They never measure them. They always just leave them. It's just like they had such perfect specimens, and they just don't do anything with them. Man, that guy. Man, I knew I should have dropped the tab before the fishing trip. Tab before the fishing? I don't know what that means, chat. I'm sorry. That just did not resonate with me, chat. That's a low tier joke.
In length,
I'll give it a 2 out of 10.
It was between 4.8 meters and 6.3 meters. Given that these are the only two known goblin sharks of such magnitude from the Gulf of Mexico, there is speculation that goblin sharks in this area may grow to extraordinary lengths. Some researchers even wonder if they could represent a unique species or subspecies, though conclusive DNA analysis is still needed. Another plausible explanation, however, is sexual dimorphism, a pattern seen in other lamniform sharks, where females tend to grow larger than males. Fossil evidence also hints at potentially larger goblin sharks in prehistoric times. An impressive example is a tooth that was found from a goblin shark ancestor with a lake crustaceous found in New Mexico's Canyon Crevasse Formation. The tooth, with an estimated crown height of 5 centimeters, suggests a length of about 7.5 meters for the shark, based on scaling and regression equations that align with it. This estimate would place it in a size range rivaling the largest great whites recorded. Giant Pacific Sleeper Shark.
Is this the one I think?
The Pacific Sleeper Shark is a deep-dwelling member of the sleeper shark family.
No?
They are found worldwide in temperate waters along continental shelves and slopes, from the surface down to 2,000 meters.
Yeah, this one
These sharks are primarily located between 70 degrees north and 47 degrees south latitudes, indicating a broad geographic range from the cold waters of the northern Pacific to more temperate regions. The typical length of a Pacific sleeper shark reaches about 4.4 meters, though some records and estimates suggest they might grow as long as 7 meters, making them one of the larger sharks in these hidden depths. A unique feature of Pacific sleeper sharks is their ability to move silently through the water with minimal body movement. This stealthy, gliding behavior reduces hydrodynamic noise, allowing them to approach prey without alerting it to their presence. Their predatory strategy relies on powerful suction to pull in their prey, combined with their sharp teeth that effectively cut prey into manageable pieces if they're too large to swallow whole. These adaptations help the Pacific sleeper shark thrive as a predator in its shadowy environment. Lake Tanganyika Shark.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
Reports of mysterious lake creatures in Lake Tanganyika, a vast
not a shark. That's why it got dog nose.
The Democratic Republic of the Congo, Tanzania, and Zambia, has circulated for over a century, each recounting strange and often unexplained sightings.
It looks like a seal snake, yeah, for sure.
The earliest known account dates back to 1893, when Joseph Augustus Moloney, part of the Stairs expedition, recounted a story from a missionary at Mampala who claimed
why the long face, bro?
to have encountered a sea serpent, which is approximately 30 feet long, once seen in the lake and another time dozing on shore. Another report followed in 1907 from Lord Walter Rothschild, who relayed an account of a tusked, amphibious creature reportedly spotted by a South African police officer in the lake's southern region. In June 1928, German sources noticed sightings of a saurian that ships often mistook for an island until it submerged, and unusual tracks were discovered along the lakeshore, showing massive claw prints resembling those of a gigantic bird and a thick dragging tail.
He just hanging
George
like
Gray,
that, bro.
reputed for his investigation into strange
he
creatures,
just waddling his way,
Komodo,
floating the
was
way.
also reportedly involved in investigating.
It's super funny if you know how crocodiles and some alligators float and move. It's super funny. They really do be just standing in water.
this beast. According to journalist Lawrence Green, rumors of monsters in the lake were so widespread that during the colonial period, the German government in Tanganyika offered a
They really
reward
be
for the
T-posing
capture
in
of
the
a
water,
freshwater
bro. I'm not gonna
shark
lie. It do
supposedly
be like
seen
that,
in the lake.
actually.
Green additionally recorded a local legend about a great fish that once swallowed a canoe with 20 people on board. Another tale tells
That's
of
a
the
crazy
Mamba Muti,
tale.
a mer-being reported to inhabit the lake's depths. In early 1914, a sighting from Lake Tanganyika's Burundi region added another layer to the mystery. German doctor M.V. Thierfelder, stationed there during a sleeping sickness outbreak, was out hunting near the lake with a local teacher named Eskesmir and a young African assistant when he noticed something unusual in the bay. Thierfelder described seeing a creature like an immense serpent. Though unlike a typical snake movements, its body arched in 6
Maybe
vertical
he's an
loops above the water.
anaconda? I don't
As he
fucking
laid
know.
still, he observed the creature, comparing its loops to
It's
nearby
the Congo,
otters
you know?
to estimate its length, which he believed ranged from 111 to 168 feet, with each loop about 13 feet long and 9 feet in diameter. The creature's head, when visible, seemed to merge seamlessly with its body, lacking the usual neck structure seen in snakes. He noted that the beast's color was a bright brown with a thick furry covering, rather than scales and 2 fin-like structures near its head. While its mouth appeared elongated, the head itself was more mammalian, somewhat like that of a manatee. After spending time in the bay, the creature eventually turned and glided out, its massive body undulating majestically. The teacher's observations mirrored Thierfelder's, and their assistants, though unfamiliar with the region, noted that locals claimed the creature appeared only every few years. Years later, Bernard Hubelmans considered the Thierfelder sighting particularly intriguing due to the credibility of the eyewitnesses, though he doubted the accuracy of Thierfelder's size estimates, suggesting the creature might have been closer to 49 feet in length rather than over 100. He noted that its behavior and body structure, especially the vertical undulations, were similar to that of the Laquada, a serpentine creature seen by T.E. Cox and his wife in nearby Lake Victoria in 1959.
Imagine living in an island like this. One tsunami, it's
Rachel
over.
Cohen incident. In his 1969 book, Des Poissons si Grands, pilot and sports fisherman Pierre Klosterman recounted an extraordinary incident involving an enormous great white shark. According to Klosterman, in March 1954, the ship Rachel Cohen was struck by something massive while navigating through rough waters off the coast of Timor. The collision was forceful enough to jolt the vessel, but the true impact only became apparent once the ship returned to Adelaide, South Australia,
What is it got?
for repairs.
A big bite
Lodged
print
deep in
on
the
it?
wooden keel of the ship were 17 large teeth, each bearing an average crown height of around 10 centimeters and a base width of 8 centimeters. The teeth were arranged in a semicircle with a radius of approximately 1 meter near the bent propeller
We have
shaft,
a picture.
suggesting an immense creature had been responsible for the damage. Klosterman claimed that
No
unnamed
picture, no proof.
ethologists had estimated the shark's length at 24 meters, based on the bite pattern alone. This narrative, however, has since been revealed to be a mix of reality, confusion, and even embellishment. A vessel named Rachel Cohen did exist, but it met its end in a fire in 1924, long before the supposed shark encounter. Instead,
wow.
historical
Lying.
accounts point to a similar
Blasphemy.
event involving the ship Eclipse. In 1897, while docked for repairs in Birkenhead, a suburb of Adelaide, shark teeth were reportedly extracted from the copper plating of Eclipse's hull. Unfortunately, details about the number of teeth, their dimensions, or even the species they belonged to were never documented. This incident was briefly revived in 1926, though with the significant altercations, the article left out the date, replacing Eclipse with the more recent Rachel Cohen, possibly due to the latter's notoriety after its fire 2 years prior. This altered account later appeared in Victor Coppelson's 1958 book, Shark Attack, likely providing the foundation for Klosterman's account. Certain aspects of Klosterman's story may have come from yet another incident involving a shark. In 1950, a fishing boat in Streaky Bay, South Australia, was reportedly attacked by a 17-foot great white shark, whose head extended over 3 feet out of the water when it moved alongside the boat. This shark was later captured and 3 of its teeth were removed from the vessel's planking. Klosterman may have combined and misinterpreted details from these various events. The shark's 17-foot length became 17 teeth lodged in the ship, the 3 feet of protruding head turned into the 3-foot bite radius.
It's just a
And the
bunch
3
of
teeth removed from the
bullshit.
flanking were reimagined as the 3-inch wide teeth. Malpelo monster.
Hello, I haven't heard of this
The
one.
Malpelo monster, also known locally as the Bongo or El Monstro, is a
El
strange
Monstro.
shark-like creature sighted in the eastern Pacific near Isla de Malpelo,
Alright,
a
how big we
remote island
talking?
285 miles off Colombia's coast. Known to prefer the colder waters below the thermocline, typically diving beneath 160 feet, this mysterious shark is around 15 feet long and notable for its large eyes and dorsal fin positioned above its pectoral fins, which is an unusual characteristic. Sightings of this shark are rare, yet it has been both seen and photographed by a small number of divers over the years, capturing the attention of scientists and marine enthusiasts. In March 2001, Colombian marine biologist and director of the Malpelo
Now
National
this
Park,
is actually
Sandra
a creepy
Basuto,
picture.
was spurred by one such sighting to undertake an investigation to uncover the creature's true.
And if you have this view, I'm sorry, but you're about to get breached. Because the thing is about to do one of the things where it just jumps in the air, right? And yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked. It's...
nature and status.
Sorry.
During an ordinary dive at Malpelo National Park, Basuto had an unexpected encounter with this mysterious shark, which she later stated the monster. Struck by its unique appearance,
Yo,
Basuto became determined to understand
that's
more about the shark
epic
that had eluded scientific
looking shark.
identification. Her curiosity led her to arrange an expedition in early 2002, risking the challenges of deep water exploration in an effort to find this unusual creature. As the expedition progressed, however, the team faced a series of unexpected setbacks, including a powerful storm that barred access to the areas where the shark was thought to roam. And then, to add to the difficulty, a group of pirates attempted to hijack Basuto's vessel, stabbing the nets and seizing over 14 tons of other sharks, an incident that not only interrupted the mission, but also emphasized the additional dangers lurking in the waters around Malpelo. Tier 6. Yellow Belly.
Yellow belly.
The yellow belly
Whoa.
is a type of sea serpent
That
first
is a
identified by Bernard
tadpole.
Heuvelmans,
That is a
resembling a
tadpole.
massive yellow-colored tadpole. Accounts describe it as stretching between 60 to 100 feet, its body bearing a striking resemblance to the plump shape of an oversized larval amphibian. Sightings of this creature, though scarce, have surfaced from the tropical waters of the Indian and
Big
Pacific
ass
Oceans,
frog.
where witnesses report an odd, ambiguous form drifting or moving in the warm waters. The primary account lending substance to this
Probably
cryptid's
an
lore
eel that just
is a
swallowed
sighting by
something too
crew
big.
members on the Nestor in 1876. Based on the sighting, Heuvelmans considered it a unique type of sea serpent, yet he remained uncertain of its taxonomic placement and ultimately refrained from assigning it a scientific name. Later, Heuvelmans would even set aside the yellow belly as an official category, citing a lack of sufficient evidence to support it as a distinctive creature. Now, others have approached this strange phenomenon differently. For example, Roy P. Mackle suggested that many yellow belly sightings could be attributed to chains of salps, gelatinous, plankton-like organisms known to form lengthy, undulating chains that sometimes take on unusual shapes, especially under certain lighting conditions. Meanwhile, the Marshall classification system has folded the yellow belly accounts into the broader mega eel type,
Maybe a manta
treating it
ray
as
with
a
a
possible
really long tail.
misinterpretation of large eels or eel-like fish. Unknown postcard fish. The British diver B. Smith had a remarkable, once-in-a-lifetime encounter with a rare megamouth shark while diving off the coast of Taiwan. This ancient, 5-meter-long species, rarely seen alive, appeared suddenly from the depths, offering an unprecedented opportunity to document its elusive behavior on film.
That's
Known to inhabit
cool,
deep
neat.
waters, the megamouth only surfaces at night to feed on plankton, making it live sightings especially scarce. Smith, a team member with Shark Education, was in Taiwan to create a documentary focused on megamouth sharks, a project close to her heart as a lifelong shark enthusiast. As she shared in a statement, being in the water with a living megamouth felt surreal. She noted how, despite being concentrated on capturing footage, the full impact of the experience didn't hit until she returned to the boat, where she felt overwhelming excitement for both personal and professional reasons. This footage would allow her to not only share her experiences, but also contribute new insights about the megamouth's behavior. Megamouth sharks are a recently recognized species in the scientific world, with the first one documented in 1976 off Hawaii. Since then, sightings have been infrequent, totaling just 279 recorded encounters. More often, these sharks are found as carcasses, washed ashore, or entangled in fishing nets. In Taiwan, where many sightings are reported, regulations mandate that any caught megamouse must be released, live or dead, back into the ocean. Smith's project delves into the effects of this
we
catch-release
shouldn't.
policy,
With such a rare
documenting the
shark, we
drift
should
net
just
fishing
not
processes
fuck with
and
them.
assisting in the release and tagging of any captured megamounts for scientific tracking. Smith's team worked closely with local fishers, capturing footage as they helped cut captured megamouse free from nets, then tagging them with acoustic devices to track their movements.
Yeah.
This collaborative effort aims to expand knowledge on their habitats and challenges in a marine world where they remain largely unknown. Adding to this limited collection of megamouth documentation is a unique 2023 video showing two megamouths side by side, a world-first capture. Scientists speculate that the pair may have been foraging, although the possible reproductive behavior has not been ruled out yet. South American angler shark. The angel shark, first classified by scientists Carlos Maria Vorin and Kleber Grabel da Silva in 1991, is a unique species of angel shark inhabiting the coastal Atlantic waters of South America,
How does this look like an angel?
From southern Brazil down to Argentina. This species generally reaches around 120 centimeters in length, making it a medium-sized shark relative to other angel sharks. One notable feature setting the angel shark apart from other types is its distinctive cranial structure. Unlike its relatives, the shark's neurocranial region, particularly its rostrum, is significantly shorter. The head's width is greatest around the nasal capsules and the postorbital processes, giving it a body structure that shares a visual resemblance with rays, though with a key difference. The gills are positioned along the head's edges rather than beneath, a trait that's more typical with sharks. 27-meter Australian shark.
Yeah, I think this one I heard about.
In 1980, a series of reports emerged from the coasts of Queensland and New South Wales in Australia, describing sightings of an enormous shark that left observers astonished and somewhat unsettled. According to various accounts, the shark measured an astonishing 27 meters in length, far surpassing any known sizes for any living shark species. That kind of size pushes the boundaries of plausibility within marine biology. Now, for comparison, even the largest great white sharks and whale sharks are typically documented around 6 to 12 meters, and historical records of the now extinct megalodon estimated that it reached lengths of 18 to 20 meters at most. Yet, the Australian sightings place this mystery shark well beyond those established sizes, implying either an unknown species, an incredibly rare anomaly, or a vast misjudgment in size perception due to distance and water conditions. Thank you for watching.
Oh, that's it.
And make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you thought about the video.
It was good. Oh shit, that's it. All right. That was a good video. All right. Shark Cryptids Iceberg. I'm going to like that. All right. Well, that was my reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Glad I got a couple of these. Oh my God. Thank you for the follow. Taco Bell. Thank you for the follow. All right, hold up. I just gotta do this outro. Thank you guys for watching YouTube today. That was my reaction to this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys later, YouTube. Bye bye. As always, the original video is gonna be in the top of the description down below. I do record this all live on Twitch, and you know, I do post a video a day. So if you hit that notification bell, it will help out a lot. So I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye, YouTube. Bye bye, my lost souls.